All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Playmakers Corner podcast. I'm your host, Simon Villanos, and we're back at it with another interview today. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, man? What position you play, and then where you're from?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm Chase Penry. I'm a wide receiver from Cherry Creek High School, and I'm just really happy to be on the show. Very excited to chop it up today. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're happy to have you on. So, for those of you who don't know, Chase Penry is our number one rated wide receiver in the class of 21, and obviously, arguably, the best receiver in the state of Colorado as of right now. And so, it's always a good time having another top prospect on the show, just like we did with Arden Walker and Q Jones. And so, make sure you check out those interviews when you have the chance. But, Chase, here at the Playmakers Corner, we always ask every guest this. It's kind of our little tradition here, but we have two questions. And so the first question is, what is your favorite like sports experience while playing? So this is like an event or a memory that you have that you played in, and it could be football, basketball, whatever, like any other sport that you really want to talk about at any time. So it could be high school, middle school, whatever.
Yeah, I think obviously winning state championships will be a very memorable part of my high school career. But I think one moment that really stands out for me was our last game at the Stutler Bowl this year, our semifinal game. It was a really nice day out, and we just had a tremendous game, and it was just like after the game, it was really just an emotional feeling for all of us because it was our last game there, and it was kind of just like one of those moments. You took a second after the game to take it all in, and it was just crazy how fast 4 years went by. It was kind of a blink of an eye, and I remember sitting out there with kind of one of my teammates, Gunnar Helm, and just kind of taking in the moment and just like realizing, wow, that's the last game we'll ever play on this field. And it was just a really special day. So if I had to say one moment, I would say that's probably one of the most special moments of my high school career was that semifinal day this year.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I get that, man. Those are memories, and obviously over at Cherry Creek, y'all made a lot of memories,
Yes,
not
sir.
just for yourselves, obviously, but in the state of Colorado and football as it is. So, yeah, man, I totally get that. But all right, so the next question we have here. So what's your favorite like I guess sport viewing experience? So like this is like a memory that you have as a fan. You probably weren't playing in this game. You may have seen it on TV or you're live or something like that. But what's your favorite sport viewing memory?
I think probably definitely has to be the Sugar Bowl when Alabama played Ohio State. Probably, let's see, 5, 6 years ago. My family and I went down there. It was the year Ohio State beat Alabama in the semifinal, and it was just one of those games. There was so much talent on the field. I think you had guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Thomas, Joey Bosa for Ohio State, and then like Amari Cooper. Guys like that for Alabama. Just one of those games, like you said, just as a spectator, was just incredible to watch. It was a great game. It was back and forth. So if I had to say, yeah, it was definitely one of those spectator moments that I had that was like really eye opening, and it kind of I was just like, wow, this is the level I need to try and get my game to, and so it was motivating and also really cool to watch.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was a good one. That's actually really funny because I'm pretty sure we had someone else interview here who said that exact same thing and they're at the game too. I don't think it was
Really,
somebody from your team. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember right now. But it was a while ago when we interviewed them. So, yeah, there you go. But that is interesting. That's a good one. So I totally get that for sure.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into football, right? Let's talk football here. So, what is your reaction to like our evaluation of your game? Obviously, we ranked you as the best in the state and all of that, but what did you think about that?
Yeah, I was obviously really appreciate the kind words, but I'm just kind of one of those players that really kind of doesn't really get into all the rankings and stuff. Like I said, I'm obviously really honored you guys put me at that spot, but I'm kind of more of a guy that puts my head down and just works. So like that's not really the biggest thing for me. Obviously, I know what I'm gonna be walking into at the next level. It's a very different game, faster, stronger, bigger guys out there, so I need to elevate my game. So, like I said, I take that. I'm very blessed that you guys think that of me, but I'm just keeping my head down and getting ready to work and taking on a challenge of the next level, which is which is a very, very different game, and I'm very excited to be able to start getting after it this summer.
For sure, man. And you know what? That's what we love to hear here, and that's humility too. So that shows a lot there as well. That's what we really love to hear, just a hard worker getting at it, just playing ball. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So
Yeah.
that's what we love to hear for sure. But all right then. So, have you had a chance to look at some of the other guys on this list? I know we had two Fairview guys in Jay Berry and Josh Rowland. I think we had Josh last week, and then he just got a couple offers. I think on Wednesday, and then I want to say we had Ty Robinson from Eagle
Yeah.
Crest and Nate Gravagno. Have you gotten a chance to look at any of those guys or talk to those guys?
Yeah, so obviously Ty and I will be teammates here real soon. So
Right.
it was really cool to hear about you guys talk about him. He's a great player. He's a competitor. We played numerous times football and in basketball. He's just a great competitor, and he's a really skilled football player. And I'm really excited to be able to be on the same team as him. So it's gonna be really cool to get up there with him this summer and get to work and be on the same team and go out and do something special with him in Boulder. And then as far as the Fairview kids, yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you guys know, we played them my junior year, and they kind of had some off the field issues or whatever go on that day. And then we played them, and they came out just hot. They jumped up 21. I think they jumped up 20-7 on us. They were spraying the ball all over the field, and those wide receivers are legit. So yeah, I really liked you guys' list, and it was like the players, the wide receivers on that list are great players. And so yeah, respect to you guys for sure for putting that together. And I have major respect for those kids at Fairview, because they're competitors. They came in and gave us a great game, and really like the style of the way they compete. Really like those kids for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. They've always had a bit going on, especially this year, I think as well. I was talking with Josh about this last week, and we just said, y'all were going through a lot. Obviously, Josh was going through a bit too. He was a 1-year starter, but he was obviously still around and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they did their thing, and so you could really only respect that. So that's
Yeah.
good to hear, man. So
Yeah, major respect for them. Yeah.
for sure. All right, so. Talking more about your game here now. So, what, in your opinion, right? What are 2 to 3 qualities that separate you from other receivers in the state of Colorado, or just in general?
Yeah, I think a couple of things are, I think my route running I've taken that to another level. My ability to create separation is one of the biggest things that I think I'm doing pretty well right now. And then I think the biggest thing for me is just my ball skills, being able to make plays on the ball, adjust, and I think when people ask me what my best skill is, I would probably say my ball skills and be able to make tough catches, contested catches. So yes, sir.
Yeah, man, and I totally agree there. In our opinion, your route running is one of the most definitely pretty crisp in the state of Colorado, and probably the best. We really think you're a very refined receiver out here. In addition, we really like your releases, especially because you don't always give, the same kind of release, right? That's something that a lot of the other guys, well, pretty much everyone else on this list really struggled with, giving us a wider variety of releases that they honestly used in game that were very effective as well. And so I think those are definitely things that separate you. And then obviously, the ball skills are there. You have great hands, and you always make a great, you make some good plays on the ball for sure. But
I appreciate that.
yeah, of course, man. And then just to throw this out there as well, since it was a COVID year, a lot of the people that we were doing research for, we really had to go through a lot of junior film, and then, kind of use that as a base, and then look at the limited senior film that is. And so that's what we did, right? And looking at your film, you definitely got way more explosive and a bit more stronger from junior to senior year. There is a lot of improvement there, and you know what? It's definitely up there with the best in the state. And so I just felt like I needed to give you that credit there, because
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, because you definitely put in that work. And, I think that was, looking at the junior film, that was definitely a little bit of concern, like saying like, all right, well, how's this guy going to, transition to that next level? Is it going to get a little bit faster, or could he get faster in between the hashes and whatnot? And you did. and it showed. So much respect
Yes,
there
sir.
as well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, so let's keep going on here. So, what are some things that you're gonna make a point of working on this off season, whether it's after you graduate or you're already working on it right now?
Yeah, I think I was at me and my dad went to the we went to the CU versus Texas game, the bowl game at the Alamo Bowl. We just went and bought tickets, just checked it out. And I think the biggest thing from that game is just like taking my body to that next level to be able to be on the field with those college kids. So I think the biggest thing for me is just developing my body in the weight room, just getting stronger, upper body, lower body, and then with that, I think will come the speed of the game. But yeah, I think right now I'm just working on being able to take those hits, and because it's a physical game at the next level, it's faster and stronger. So I think just developing my body, keeping my head down right now, and just working real hard in the weight room. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I'm working on right now.
For sure, man, and that's definitely never a bad thing to work on as well.
Yeah,
Like I was saying, when we were looking at your game, I guess physicality and how that will translate to the next level, that was definitely something that, we were a little bit concerned about because, Colorado competition is a little bit different than, I guess, Texas or Louisiana competition,
yep,
right? And
yep.
so it's just a different ball game, and obviously you're playing against guys that are the best of the best from those states and more. And so that's good to hear that you are working on that. And honestly, that's really not the worst, I guess, area of improvement to have either, since you are pretty refined in a lot of other areas.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, all that. I think the biggest thing is like I was talking about the weight room, but obviously I'm still continuing to work on all that because you can never stop working at that. Keep refining those skills, keep working on the craft. So putting it all together, and we'll get up there to Boulder this June and start practice. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, for sure, man. And
Yeah.
speaking of Boulder, let's talk about that journey to committing there. So, how was yours? Obviously, you're already committed to CU, and you've been committed for a while now, I believe. I believe you committed your junior year. Is that right?
Yeah. So I committed I committed my junior year in January, right before Coach Mel Tucker left, and so he left about 10 days after I committed.
Right.
And it was pretty hectic. There was a lot of media covering that, as you may know. And then I kind of just kept my head down, kept my commitment. And when they made a new hire, Coach Durrell gave me a call as soon as he was hired, and kind of just wanted to let me know that I was still on board with them, and that they still wanted me, and that was big for me. And so I think it's always been a dream of mine to play on that stage, in the Power Five and the big time stage, and to be able to do it at Boulder, in my hometown, is something that's just a dream come true. So I'm just really excited, and it was definitely a crazy recruiting experience. Like to answer your question, I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of opened my eyes to college football and the business it is a little bit. Kind of seeing how money and all that stuff works, and how people are getting fired, and it's in and out a lot. So you got to really fall in love with the university and the college, and not the coach. But I think Coach Severini, the wide receiver coach and offensive coordinator, staying up there was really big for me. And I also just love Boulder, and so yeah, stuck it out, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, for sure. And that's really interesting. I'm glad you talked on that because obviously we never really brought it up before, but well, at least not in an interview, but we've
Yeah,
definitely talked about it, myself and Cody, and then our former co-host, Jesse Budin, who's now a coach in college now. But, we did talk about, I guess, some of the things going on at CU and how, a little, how should I say this, a little unstable it seemed like it at the time, going from, not just because it was a transition of power, I guess, from coach to coach, but also because it's a COVID year. And
yeah,
so there's a lot going on there, obviously in 2020, and still going on now. And so we really wondered how that would turn out for CU. Obviously, this last season, I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed with it, with that CU team. I thought they played much better than I thought they would. They lost to Texas, but that's not the worst loss, honestly.
yeah,
It could be definitely be worse. Trust me. So there's definitely hope there. And honestly, CU has done a good job at getting their share of Colorado recruits there, because for a minute there it looked like CSU was taking up a bunch of them, and so that's always a rivalry. But that's interesting to hear. So.
Yes, sir.
What are some things that I guess you wish you have learned or wish you knew before about recruiting and I guess that whole process?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think us 2021 kids have had such a unique experience with it all. Just with the COVID happening and stuff. You're seeing a lot of kids having to commit and sign with teams that they've never even met on campus and never even sat down and met the coach face to face. So I think it's for us it was like it was a really odd year, but I would say the only thing you can control really is how hard you work. Recruiting and all that stuff comes along with your film and your work ethic. So I would say if I were giving someone advice, it would be just keep your head down, work, and when you get your opportunities in your high school games, just ball, just make the most out of your opportunity because, like I was talking about, it's just like so out of your control that you have to control what you can control. Ball out in your high school games, get the film out there, and if you're making plays, you will be found. So I would just say control what you can because the college recruiting scene it's crazy, and especially this year, it's been really hectic.
Yeah, for sure, and I totally get that. We have had a couple interviews with some guys who are struggling to find some offers out there. Even though in my opinion they are good enough to make it there, and so roster spots are obviously limited, along with scholarships, especially with the NCAA really giving players that played this year another year of eligibility. So you will be seeing a lot of seniors coming back if they can. Obviously,
Yep.
if they, if they feel like they need to come back before heading to the NFL or that next level, whichever it may be. So
Yep.
yeah, totally get that. All right. So talking about CU here, so what were some things that you, I guess before you committed to CU, but what were some things that you prioritized from like a school or a program when looking at places at that next level, and how did CU fill those needs?
Yeah, so I think obviously the biggest thing for me is an education, and their business school up there, School Leads, is a great business program. So that was really attractive to me. So that was a big thing for me. And then, like I said, my connection with Coach Severini, who is the O coordinator right now. Just like I met him like my freshman year, like going into my sophomore year that summer,
Mhm.
and we kind of just stayed in contact, like here and there. I would come up to games and just say what's up to him, and then once he was able to start texting with me, whenever September 1st of your junior year, I think is the rule.
Yeah.
We just kept building a great connection, and I think he was probably the biggest reason why I felt comfortable at CU. Just talking with him and just hearing how he would develop my game, and just kind of use me. And so I think Coach Severini, and then the attractiveness of the school of business was really big for me.
Yeah, for sure, man. I totally get
And
that.
not to mention it's Boulder, Colorado. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty beautiful place to live. So
Heck yeah.
really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. I totally got you. I actually, my senior year, I was going to go to CU, and I got into that business program as well. So I totally know how that's like. There's definitely appeal there, and honestly, Boulder. You're right. Boulder is a pretty season. It's a pretty city. It's
Yeah.
definitely one of the prettier, college cities out there for sure. It's just very expensive. So you're very lucky that you got a full ride there. So
Yeah.
I
Yep.
totally got you. But
That's
all
right.
right, man, that's what's up for sure. So with that being said, now that your high school football career is over, obviously y'all did get those 2 rings. So congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you.
But yeah, of course. But what are your outlooks or goals for college football? So just college football, and then moving forward, just with your college career or whatever career you do moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of a surreal moment that to like just to be thinking that I'm gonna be playing like in those games here soon. But I think especially early on, when I get to Boulder, I think my goal is kind of just keep my head low, work really hard, gain the coach's trust, getting the playbook, like we were talking about, to keep developing my body, so I'm ready for that the physicality and speed of the game. And then I think one of our, like, as a team, our biggest goal is eventually is to get to that Pac-12 championship, and win a Rose Bowl. So I think as we continue to go down that road, and get closer to that goal, we'll start talking about that. But right now, I'm just keeping my head down, working, trying to earn respect, earn coach's trust, and just get in that weight room. And yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Yes,
And
sir.
those are all good goals for sure.
Yep.
So
Yep.
definitely like to see that. All right, man. So here, with one semester left, right? So because you are still in high school, you didn't graduate early or anything yet, did you?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. Still in
Okay.
high school. Yep.
Sounds good. Last semester though, so that's what matters.
Yep.
But
Yep.
with that being said, what advice would you give to high school athletes looking to go to that next level? I know this podcast definitely has a good amount of middle schoolers and lower classmen coming up. We definitely have a solid amount, especially middle school quarterbacks who want to come up on the next level and do look up to guys like you and everyone else on the Cherry Creek team, and obviously some of the other ballers in the state as well. But what is some advice that you would give to those high school athletes looking to go to that next level?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. I think when you're in high school, I think it's easy to overlook how important the grade aspect of it is. Like, if you have bad grades, I think it's pretty hard to understand how many doors get closed, especially with college recruiting. So I would say number one is to maintain good grades, study hard, because that opens so many doors, especially on the college level for you and in the career and just in life. And then number two, from the football aspect, I would say, like I was kind of talking about earlier, just you got to control what you can control. If there's coaching or there's politics in a program or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you have to make yourself stand out so that the coaches can't say no to you, and that just comes with hard work and preparation. And once you get in the game, I think it's all about competing, and just seizing the opportunities that you have and making the most of it. And like the last thing I would say about all of it is just have fun with it. Like, you go to high school one time, you really have to enjoy the moments with your teammates, your coaches, your family, because it's a really special time of your life, and something that I will obviously never forget, and it was really valuable for me. So I would say last thing, just have fun with it.
Right on, man. And those are all good things to hear for sure. So great advice there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So, all right, with us, with that being said and whatnot, we're gonna kind of wrap this up here. So, is there
Okay.
really anybody in particular, and this could honestly be anybody, who you would like to mention who has been important to your academic or athletic career, who you'd like to thank on the show? And so this could be like friends, families, coaches, teammates, either one.
Yeah. I definitely say I want to give a huge shout out to my parents. They've done a lot for me, sacrificed a lot for me to be able to be doing what I am doing. And then all of my teammates, they know I'm rocking, love those guys. So big shout out to them, and good luck with all their journeys. And I just can't wait to see where we all end up. And just, it's been a great ride. That's all.
Yeah, for sure, man. And once again, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. So we really appreciate you having here. And honestly, man, you're a heck of a talent, and you really did play on. Honestly, in Cody and our opinion, and the opinions of a lot of other coaches that I've talked to, your Cherry Creek team specifically might be one of the best teams just in Colorado history, just straight up. We've obviously talked to Arden Walker. He's a monster, easily the best defensive player in the state. You got Malik on the other side of Arden, who's extremely underrated. He probably should be a D1 guy, to be honest. You got James Walker. He's for sure a D1 guy. You got Gunnar Helm. He's going to Texas. Spoiler alert. Well, I don't know when this interview will drop, but he did make our top 5 list for tight ends, and so
Yep.
he'll be on there as well. And
Yep.
then, as well, with our cornerback episode that just dropped yesterday as in, January 15th, you got Miles Purchase, Al Ashford. And so, honestly, look, you don't got to answer this, but you could give your opinion if you want. But do you think your squad was the best team in Colorado football history when all was said and done?
I think, yeah, I think I appreciate the words about that. I think it was definitely one of our goals to go into the season, to dominate the season in a way that people thought of us like that. And just in my opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. But that's just me. I might be biased, but I think we were one of the top teams in Colorado history. But I'm not gonna go around saying all that. Leave that up to you guys to talk about that. But yeah, just definitely really proud of all the guys on the team, and we definitely left our mark. So I'm really proud and just honored to be a part of a team like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's that's good confidence there. You already know, myself and Cody believe that. It's just hard to deny, right? There weren't
Yep.
many teams that really hung with y'all like super close, really, and y'all played the best of the best, in these last 2 years. It wasn't like there was anybody that y'all went up against that didn't deserve to be there or didn't show before that they were, arguably the best. And so I mean, that's just what I gotta say. And also, I forgot to bring him up here, but Julian Hammond, obviously your quarterback. He's first off, he's a heck of a talent. It's a
Yep.
shame he's playing basketball
I know. I told him
because
that. Yeah. Yeah.
really,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you say to that? Is there? I mean, look, if you can't say, but is there any chance that he walks onto that CU team over there?
Nah, yeah, I don't know. I think obviously a tremendous basketball player, but I think I think he's one of those guys that was kind of overlooked in the state, and he's a tremendous quarterback, and it was kind of I was really obviously really happy he's going to be up in Boulder with me to play basketball, but it's also tough because I know he was a tremendous talent at quarterback, but that's my guy. So I'm really happy for him. Happy we'll still be at the same school together. But yeah, he was a great quarterback and definitely left his mark as one of the top QBs in the state of Colorado in history. So I think he's got to be up there when you mention QBs just because of his track record, what he did, and obviously, and it's quote unquote his second sport. So. Um, yeah, that's my guy. I'm really happy for him. He's playing up there in Boulder.
Yeah, for sure, man, and he's definitely one of the best. We didn't include him in our top five because we wanted to give the spotlight to some other seniors who were most likely gonna stick with football. But
Yep. Yep.
if he did play football or if he did commit to football, he definitely would have been probably either the top or close to the top up there for sure.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, man. He honestly, if you didn't know this about me, I did grow up in Dallas, so I got to compete against Kyler Murray. Obviously, he was a
Wow.
two-sport athlete. Yeah, so so I know how them multi-sport athletes go, and I don't know, just I got the same feeling that I did with Kyler, I guess, like because I know
Yep.
Kyler for a little bit there looked like he wasn't going to play college ball. Then he had his 1 year, and then he was going to say he was going to go ahead and play, pro baseball, but I knew that he was gonna
Yeah.
he wanted
Yep.
to play football, and so
Yep.
I was really happy when he did that. And I guess I'm still kind of holding on, and I think everyone here at the Playmakers Corner is holding on that Julian Hammond, maybe he tries it out, right, and
Yeah. Yeah.
figures something out, and we could get that connection up at CU again, because that would be a heck of a story. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But, all right, man. So, are there any lasting quotes or thoughts that you'd like to share before we wrap this thing up?
No, I think that's good. I think just thank you for having me on the show. It's been a good talking with you, and just looking forward to this upcoming year in Boulder, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. We look forward to watching you and doing your thing up there. I think we interviewed Jordan Wolverton. He's a walk-on quarterback.
Yep.
He just won Durango there. I want to say he won their first state championship or real state championship over there this year, and so he's a heck of a guy. And actually, now that I do think about it, he might be the guy who was mentioning that Alabama versus Ohio State game.
Nice.
So yeah,
Cool.
that might be a talking point once you get up there. But yeah, hey, so we wish you the best of luck up there. We'll definitely be watching. And look, in our honest opinions, we do think you're an NFL guy, but it's a long road. Enjoy your senior year, and then obviously enjoy college as well. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, of course. All right, so that'll wrap up this interview on the Playmakers Corner. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that great stuff. We will be posting on YouTube soon here as well. Be on the lookout for more breakdowns, more interviews, and all of that great stuff.